Welcome to Toastmaster Time, the show that's got everybody talking. I'm Justin Paris, and I'm very excited to be your host here tonight. This evening, you will meet the 2023 and 2024 District 57 leadership. We're going to start off by showing you an interview with Club Growth Director Linda Patten, who was not able to be here in person tonight. Roll the tape.
I am pleased to introduce the 2023-2024 Club Growth Director for District 57, Linda Patten. Linda, welcome to Toastmaster Time.
Oh, Steve, it's so good to be here. I'm glad that Toastmasters Time TV has reinvented itself, and I can't wait to be a part of it.
Well, we're really excited about the direction it's going. We're excited to have you on. And first of all, congratulations on getting elected Club Growth Director. And please tell us about your role and what your vision is.
Steve, my role is to do two things. One is to build new clubs, but second, to also revitalize and refresh and invigorate the clubs that we already have. And my goal this year is to not lose any clubs and to actually build 15 new clubs for the district. My club extension chair, Ashley Harkness, and I have a very ambitious goal, and we can't wait to get started.
Can you tell us what your why is?
I define that as success, and I'm all about success. I have been a Toastmasters for a very short period of time. I joined in December of 2019, and as you know, I've skyrocketed through the various positions throughout the district and am now on the district trio, which is, for me, was just a wow, you really want me. That's fantastic. And because of that, it gets me up in the morning. It's like, okay, what do I get to do here? Who do I get to connect with? What kinds of things are happening? When do we have our next kickoff meeting? Is there somebody that I need to connect with for a mentor or a coach or whatever it might be? And I love that because there's constant activity. I like having one, a plan, two, having goals, but three, actually being able to take action. And that's where I shine, is in the ability to take action and to galvanize others to take action as well.
Right, taking action. Now, how have your experiences inside and outside of Toastmasters helped develop you into the position you're in now as Club Growth Director?
I worked a lot with very large banks when I was still in the corporate world. I also have been an entrepreneur. And so growing a business is a great way to be growing clubs and reinventing and revitalizing the clubs that you currently have. What I also found was that I was never comfortable with, this is your territory, don't go beyond it. I was a rebel in that respect. When I worked for B of A in Southern California, I had SoCal. And I went, no, we're going to Asia. So our next trip was to Asia. We did Tokyo, Manila, Singapore, and Hong Kong. But that's the kind of person I am, is I don't allow the box to define me. I want to go beyond the box. I want to be innovative, creative, and just really shake up the district.
Struggling clubs, if you're going to save a struggling club, a good way to do it is to bring in a coach. And then a new club needs a mentor.
Correct.
If somebody in District 57 wanted to get involved in coaching and mentoring, what could they expect?
Well, with coaching, you actually have a coaching program. We actually have a class that you do, and there is a test, unfortunately, that you have to pass through TI in order to become a club coach. But I can tell you, having been a club coach, it can be one of the most rewarding things that you do, especially if you have a club that is anxious to improve. And they are willing to listen to what you have to say. And oftentimes you can go beyond what you ever thought possible. For example, I had a club that was all women who needed members. And we went out to a club that had disbanded, that was primarily women, and basically invited them to attend. It was a synergy. It was something that they could do together, and that I was able to at least facilitate bringing it to their light so that they could see it and they could do something with it. I think that's the key around club coaching, is that you get almost instant gratification as long as the club is willing to take direction. If they're not, it becomes very, very difficult. So we look at the clubs very closely to see, do you really want to coach? Are you really going to listen to your coach? Are you going to do what your coach suggests that you do? Mentors, sort of the same thing, although mentors are generally for new clubs. And of course, with having possibility of 15 new clubs this year, we're going to need at least 30 mentors. What I love that we get to set them up for success. And as long as, again, the mentor is an active part of the club, and I'm a mentor now for regulatory affairs Toastmasters as well, and I'm getting a chance to see what that's like. What does that really look like? Regulatory affairs has been doing some innovative and creative things as they began their journey. So it's been very, very fun and very educational, and I can now teach others these kinds of skills and give them new skills and new experiences and the joy of success.
The joy of success. Well, we're going to finish on that. And Linda, all of us at District 57 wish you much success in your journey as Club Growth Director and beyond. Thanks for being with us, Linda.
And thank you for having me, Steve. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you, Linda, for your leadership in District 57. I love the emphasis on taking action. Let's pass it over to our moderator for this evening, Steve Today.
Good evening. I am pleased to be here with the rest of the leadership team, the rest of the top leadership team of District 57. They're going to talk about their roles, their activities, and their vision for District 57 Toastmasters and what all of that means to the everyday members that go to meetings once a week. I'd like to introduce our District Director, Ed Cullen.
Thanks, Steve.
Our Program Quality Director, Sally Philbin.
Thank you, Steve.
And our Public Relations Manager, Eliott Rodgers. Welcome to Toastmasters Time TV. So we're going to start out with Ed. Ed, can you tell us a little bit about your role in the district and what that means to Toastmasters that are happily going to meetings once a week?
Thank you, Steve, for that great question. I like doing things, but this particular role asks you to get beyond the operational and to the strategic. And I see this year as being mission-driven. The mission, as Linda said, of the district is to build new clubs and lead all clubs to excellence. But the mission of Toastmasters International is to empower people to get communication and leadership skills. And a Toastmaster who goes to meetings and doesn't care that I'm district director or doesn't know that the rest of the trio exists has a self-paced way of getting communication and leadership goals. Based on their own expectations, we move them from their comfort zone to slightly outside of their comfort zone, pulling them back from the danger zone, because just beyond your comfort zone is a great place to learn communication and leadership.
Fantastic. Getting out of the comfort zone is where you address your fears.
That's right.
That's fantastic. Sally, can you tell us what your role is as Program Quality Director and what your vision for this year is?
Thank you for that question. My role is to oversee the training of club officers, area directors, division directors. I've taken that one step further. I'm also rolling out training for all of our Toastmasters members. I can talk about that a little bit later, but my role, my vision, is to take the training to the individuals, both from the point of view of them receiving training, but also from the point of view of them stepping outside of their club and giving training, giving back to the other members, being presenters at an actual training session. Mm-hmm. That's my vision for this year.
Fantastic, fantastic. And Eliott Rodgers, Public Relations Manager. Can you give us some details on your role and what your vision is of the year?
Well, there's this thing called email, and I like email. In fact, I like to target my email to different people so that it is effective and they're actually reading it because they want to do the training or go to an event or maybe take care of an announcement that's coming up. One of my big overriding goals as a communicator is, I think we call it sunshine laws. Like, I like to make sure that everyone knows what's going on and get not just the information for the event, but also get the resources they need, excuse me, to make sure that they can show up to the meeting with everything they need to have a successful and enjoyable experience.
Yeah. Great. I've gotten emails from you.
Yes, you have.
So essentially, in a nutshell, Sally is developing training programs and you're letting us know about it.
Correct.
And so you're working hand in hand, collaborating, and that's the teamwork of the district. One of the things you've instituted this year is a district bulletin, and I love it. Can you tell us a little bit about the bulletin and what Toastmasters members can gain from it?
Well, you know, we have a PR team. There's 6 people on it right now, and there's a lot of moving parts. When I'm getting emails and requests from Sally to put things together, we have a huge spreadsheet full of details. And to get just a bite-sized piece of information to our members, there's only really about 4 lines out of about 15 things that go into line by line. Here's 6 events coming up this month. They're color-coded. There's registration right on the email itself. And that has really facilitated a lot more people just getting right to the event. So that's our goal.
So great.
Yeah.
Now, Ed, I'd like to ask you what your vision is for the district.
I, of course, have, as I said, a mission-driven district. So I'm looking for new clubs. I'm looking for excellence, which Sally is doing a fabulous job in delivering. And at the end, I'm looking for a net growth of at least 6 clubs, about 4,600 payments, and about 64 distinguished clubs, which will lead me to Anaheim and a walk on the stage. This last convention, I got to go on the stage, but this next convention, everybody can go on the stage, and because it's in Anaheim, we can bring everybody there. So we'll celebrate in August of 2024. That's my vision for this year.
Well, that sounds good. I like that vision. Now, you're all volunteers. This is a lot of work. What is your why? What makes you get up in the morning and say, I want to do this work in District 57, Ed?
To paraphrase Smedley, if Toastmasters is working for you, why keep it to yourself? So my why is spreading the message of how good Toastmasters has been for me to others so that they can appreciate how good Toastmasters can be for them. It's fun, it's collaborative, it's a learning process. I've spent a lot of time just outside my comfort zone, and it's been very helpful to me. As I said, it's self-paced. We're not making people go any farther than they want to go, but we're putting them in a position where they go just a little farther. And that's a growth place. That's my why. That's what keeps me getting up in the morning and spending, as my wife would say, an inordinate amount of time on Toastmasters.
All right. Now, you mentioned Smedley. That would be Ralph Smedley. He started Toastmasters. It's going to be exactly 100 years.
That's right.
1924. Next year's the 100th anniversary. So, exciting times.
Something to celebrate.
In Anaheim.
In Anaheim.
All right. Sally, what is your why?
I'll have to admit, Steve, that my why is a bit selfish. When I participate in Toastmasters events and I participate with other members of Toastmasters and I watch other people grow and I see my reflection and recognize how I've grown, it just makes me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
This is an organization that empowers me. I feel good every morning when I wake up. I feel good during the day as I'm shooting out those emails and asking Eliott to provide information out to the masses. I feel good, and that's my why. I love watching others grow because I've grown in that way. And again, it just makes me feel good.
All right. That is very inspiring. That's an inspiring answer. So what is your why, Eliott?
Well, I have that sign right next to my computer. So when I'm in a Zoom meeting, if I'm ever wondering, what are we doing at this meeting? I just look at my sign and I said, oh, okay, I see how this is connected. Mm-hmm. The one thing that I obviously joined Toastmasters for was to become a better speaker. But what I soon learned, and this is not so obvious, is that I had to learn to become a better listener. And what that does for me is so I could hear other people speak and learn from their speaking strategies and their message, what they're trying to get across. That also is another reason why I joined, is I'm actually a journal writer and I like to write. So I use speeches as a program for writing and revealing certain things about myself, but also trying to get a message to people that I think were shared in our club, I think at the district we share collectively, and to reiterate that and to reinforce that so that we have a positive, cumulative relationship with everybody. So,
right. Great. I want to get back to Sally because you mentioned you're motivated because, one of the reasons you're motivated because you've grown in Toastmasters. How have your Toastmasters activities, your experiences in Toastmasters, helped you in the role you're in now as Program Quality Director?
As Program Quality Director, I have re-envisioned what Program Quality Director means, what it means to me, what it can mean to the district. And part of that is building this huge team. And part of that is going out to people individually and encouraging them to just say yes. My Toastmasters experience has helped me with that because it's helped me with my communication skills. It's helped me with my listening skills. I've had conversations with people where they have said to me, well, how did you know that about me? How would you have known that? And it was kind of like, well, you just told me.
Mm-hmm.
You just told me that. That's how I knew that about you. So my listening skills have improved tremendously. It's helped me in all aspects of my life, not just my Toastmasters life. I have found it to be a great benefit in all areas of what I do.
So both Eliott and Sally mentioned listening. And it's interesting because Toastmasters is a public speaking organization. And you know, somebody might say, hey, you're a good speaker, you should go to Toastmasters. But listening is as much a part of public speaking as the actual speaking, isn't it?
Mm-hmm,
right?
It is. Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Good, good.
And a big part of Toastmasters, if I may, is feedback. Mm-hmm. Learning how to give feedback and learning how to accept feedback. And that's all about listening.
That's all about listening. All right, all right. Another question I'd like to ask you, Sally, is what is the comfort level of the membership of District 57 with the Pathways Educational Program?
It hasn't been very good.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of members who, I'm not sure why, are resistant, are a little scared to try something new. What we've done this year is we have, and we've done this in years past too, but this year we've appointed a district Pathways chair.
Mm-hmm.
She is giving monthly trainings on Pathways. She started in July, gave one in August, September. In fact, tonight we had one just before we recorded this broadcast. And she has had fabulous turnout. We have covered how do I buy a path? How do I get started on a path? We have covered, how do I finish a path? How do I finish a level? As the Vice President of Education, how do I approve levels? How do I approve path completions? And tonight, I know it isn't tonight for our audience, but we had an opportunity for lots of our Vice Presidents of Education and a new title for District 57, Vice President of Pathways, to talk about what their challenges are, what the solutions are to those challenges, gathering suggestions from everybody in the room. And that's how we're addressing some of the concerns that our members have. As a matter of fact, one of our members, as part of her High Performance Leadership Project, is doing a Pathways game, encouraging long-term members to get started in Pathways and complete levels for prizes. Always those incentives. So that's how we're addressing some of these issues. And hopefully when we get to the end of the year, we'll see a larger percentage of our members have actually embarked on and have completed levels and projects and pathways.
So you can make it a grind, an obligation, or you can make it a game.
Exactly.
And if you make it a game, sometimes a little bit of competition or just making it fun could make all the difference, huh?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, right. So, Ed.
Yes.
We're about 3.5 months into the year. District 57 had first quarter goals. How are you doing with those goals right now?
We did great, Steve. We really did great. We're a little off the pace on payments, but when those new clubs come in, 20 new payments at a time, it will set up the momentum that will bring us to where we want to be at the end of the year. People are having a good time. Sally's training lots of people. Eliott's sending them to d57tm.org, where it's just wonderful. So we are doing great, and we're setting ourselves up for the end goal, even though we may be slightly off the pace here at the end of the first quarter. We did some terrific things. We had a business meeting where we approved the budget, we ratified the appointments, we made some policy about contests, speech contests. We've done a lot of wonderful things thus far, and we have 3 more quarters to go.
All right. So, well, that's good. A question I always like to ask. There are Toastmasters out there watching, and they're intrigued. 3 district leaders here. Another district leader, Linda, spoke on a pre-recorded message. What kind of opportunities are available for a Toastmaster that is currently attending meetings once a week but may want to get involved in district activities?
There are many ways. I wouldn't be here if I didn't do the Toastmasters promise, that is, take the jobs that are offered to you. But club officers are available. There are 7 club officers. A typical Toastmaster could try one of those, see how that works. For people who are club officers, there's a district service at the area director level. That was my favorite job. I'd still be doing it if there hadn't been someone behind me who needed that experience. There are all sorts of chairs. We can use anyone. We can use your talents. And if you have a small amount of time to give, we can do something that does a small amount of time. And if you have a large amount of time, well, of course, we have those opportunities also. Again, d57tm.org will give you a place to land.
All right. And Sally, I bet as program quality director, you've got a few opportunities to offer people.
I do have opportunities, I'm telling you. And like Ed said, I have small ones and I have big ones. And I'm just going to say it. I'm on the hunt for 2 co-conference chairs this year. And I'd like to say right here and now, our conference this year is going to be hybrid. In-person conference, people online virtually. We have David Dye, who is our HUVA chair, who's going to take care of all the virtual aspects of that. And I'm looking for 2 conference chairs. I have many of the chair positions within that conference family already designated. So it's not like they're being given a job without support. So yes, I'm looking for trainers, monthly trainers. We have educational programs going on every month, 2 or 3 every week. I'm looking for trainers. If you say to yourself, you know, I'd like to learn a little bit about X, let's do it. And we'll put on a training. And that's how a lot of these trainings have been instigated, as somebody said, I wish we could have a training on that, and we've done it. So yes, those are the opportunities.
And there's a good chance if somebody says, I wish we could have a training on that, you might say to them, I think you'd be an excellent trainer.
I might say that, but I might not. So don't be afraid to volunteer an idea.
All right. Well, Ed Cullen, District Director, Sally Philbin, Program Quality Director, Eliott Rodgers, Public Relations Manager. It has been a delight to have you on Toastmasters Time. One thing I can vouch for is taking opportunities. And when somebody offers you an opportunity, take it. You can learn something, and it's also something that could end up on your resume that can help you in the future outside of Toastmasters.
That's right.
It's been a pleasure talking with all of you, and I can't wait to see the growth and the excitement in District 57 for the rest of this year.
That wraps up this episode of Toastmaster Time. Thank you so much for watching. For more information on Toastmaster Time, please check out toastmastertime.com. Toastmaster Time is sponsored by District 57 Toastmasters. For more information on District 57, please visit d57tm.org. And for more information on Toastmasters International and where you can find a club near you, please visit toastmasters.org. I want to thank our wonderful staff and volunteers here at the Palo Alto Media Center and express my gratitude to our District 57 leaders, Linda, Ed, Sally, and Eliott, for sharing their time and insights with us here today. On behalf of all of us at Toastmaster Time, I want to encourage you to join Toastmasters and keep on talking.